Hello, I'm Zalmont, and welcome to another episode. This is my little YouTube series where I talk about random stuff and play Ark, and kind of that's what today's episode is kind of going to focus more on. Is kind of a reintroduction to the channel and like why are you watching? I think it's the thing I offer is that I have a background that I think would really give me a good SWAT that a lot of people can identify with. And otherwise, I've overcome a lot of struggles, and I'd like to be able to share that and help others avoid the pitfall. And in so doing, here let's get my timer going. But yeah, I kind of was a classic failure to launch um, case for your men there. And so I kind of want to share how I come up out of that, and just otherwise there was just lots of things I was come have overcome abuse. Uh, it's I don't want to go into the specifics of it because it is triggering for some people. And so when I get into that, I like to dedicate. But I've overcome many struggles, and I'm surprisingly well balanced, and more importantly, like I'm genuinely happy. And I think that that's the biggest thing is the authenticity, right? I'm very genuine in my opinions. And I find myself to be a very well balanced person, and I think that my background is very unique and allows me to identify with a large group of people and be able to and like I in general I really enjoy that mentoring, right? Um, I come from poverty. My mom was a single mom. She really pushed hard to get ahead and do things on her own, and you could really see the rah woman power behind her. You know what I mean? She herself wasn't very feminist. Don't get me wrong. It was, but like yeah, you could very much see that kind of a mentality did play a role in the way she operated. um, but otherwise, like a lot of my family uh, were not like rich, but they were wealthy where money wasn't really an issue for them. That basically they're where my goal always has been. I want to be able to, and it's just a very simple goal that people who have it take it for total granted. But the goal is I want to be able to go out and eat go out anywhere to eat and not and be able to pick what I want to eat, not have price enter my mind at all. Um, my mom's family is that, and very stable, and in all actual like a good family. But I didn't. My mom and us, we were kind of like the black sheep of the family, so we were a little bit ostracized. I think more of that had to do with my mom's pride than anything. Not and not wanting to ask for help, kind of thing. Um, so I have that weird dichotomy of like I've seen the worst of the worst for in Canada for poverty, and I've seen what living without money being a concern is like, right? And how they're told those are two entirely different worlds, and most of the time people from one do not see eye to eye with people from the other. You don't. And it's why? Well, it's perspective. Like everyone brings things back to their own perspective, and those are so wildly desperately apart that it can be difficult to bridge that gap. Me having the background that I have, I do think that I am in a unique position to bridge that gap where, like a lot of these things that people on the more wealthier end push for to help, it doesn't really help. Things like the, people that try and simplify the homeless issue. as well. It's just people don't have homes. That's the issue. Just give them homes. No, that's not actually the issue. It's not a problem if there's no homes. There are homes. If these people would get their lives together, there are homes. They just won't get their lives together. They refuse to to stabilize themselves. They refuse to give up the drugs or the alcohol or the sleeping around with a billion different people and some of who are like extra sketchy, right? Like like this is the real root of homelessness. Tends to be a mental health issue. It's obviously addictions it does tie in fairly heavily with that, but even in that, well, why does addiction hide it? Well, mental health. These are tend to be damaged people who come from backgrounds similar to mine, and unlike me, they didn't come out well balanced. They went the other route, and that's another thing. That's where I find it strange that like even though my grandfather had very little to do with me, a lot of who I am today is like a weird reflection of my grandfather. That my grandfather really was. He was a standoffish, old school Irishman guy, and it was you don't if you're gonna do a job, do it right the first time. If you want something done right, do it yourself, and like no excuses. Like do or do not, right? And I'm very hard that way. It's about responsibility. Take and it's weird because like when I was younger, I was such a little hellion, so entitled. How much time? Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to keep talking here because but I want to show a little plug here. I threw this up. Look at that. Yeah. Follow on YouTube at Zelmont or Facebook at Zelmont.2022 or my Twitter is at Zelmont83. My Twitter I really don't use, but it does exist, so may as well throw it out there. I don't know. I'm an old fogey, so I don't know if I'll ever get more stuff than that. But hey, plug, right? Plug. That said, if you're finding yourself enjoying, please like and subscribe. Like this is why you're here, right? And yeah, like I'm not shy about topics. So there's certain tough topics I'm more than willing to get into, and I understand that there's such a thing as nuance. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm not scared to get into what some deem as controversial topics and really and I tend to have a well thought out position. At certain times I'll spit out talking points, but it's not because it's it's because, well, that is the way it is, right? And this is the reason that, I'm giving my thought processes and the facts and information that generate that opinion, right? But yeah, otherwise, like I'm a gamer. Being a gamer has been a big part of my person. Real life, I'm a cook. I do talk about that from time to time in the channel. It was something I never intended to do, but it was something I always had a knack for. Coming from that poor... Oh, there's the timer. I'm going to go a little bit past on this one. I'm going to go just a little bit. But I always had it because, coming from that poor back, I didn't have... My mom was working a lot, and you learned how to feed yourself early on. I don't even know like when it happened, but yeah, you started cooking hot dogs and craft dinner, and then I full on experimented. When I got into high school, I took home ec, and my cooking group was the good cooking group. That was a dream come true, man. Poor kid, and they would give me money, and I could plan out my own meal. Oh, it was great. We always made sure to mark off a part of the budget for milkshakes to go with every meal we had. But yeah, it was great. but it was, when like I say, I was a failure to launch, but you still have to pay the bills somehow while you're, treading water and playing video games. And so I fell into kitchen work. Back in the day, it was easy. It was just gotten progressively tougher, and I've progressively taken on more responsibility. The last decade, I've been more managerial type positions. I'm still kitchen worker, but kitchen supervisor, assistant manager, sous chef, kitchen manager, head cook, whatever the title they want to give you. Well, these days I won't accept too little, but I probably wouldn't accept a head cook title. I need more than that. It's like when I went to my current boss and got the promotion to supervisor that I have right now. I I need more, and I know, and I'm worth more. I've done the job. I know I can, if not, well, then I need to get into another industry where I can just, as a grunt, make more money because I'm not making enough money. Not to support a family, right? And that's a big thing too, is I'm a family man, and everything I do is for my family. My family is my core purpose. Um, and that I'm going to leave with that because that's actually going to go into my next episode. My next episode is has to do with my dad. It's going to be a good one. So once again, if you found yourself enjoying this episode, please leave a like, subscribe for more content, comment, let me know what you think, share. I really am looking to push my subscriber number up even more. I'm almost at 24, and I want to see what I can do. But yeah, the next episode is going to be a good one, so tune in for that, and I will see you later. Here we go. We gotta do the dance. Do. Later. Okay.